Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I've been wanting to make a video about Carson Beck of Georgia for a while now, and I finally gotten around to it. I think what's made it difficult is that I've been looking for like that thing that kind of stands out or something that will make a good video title, something that's good to actually, get people to click on. And I think what it is that Carson Beck really isn't special. He doesn't have that many special qualities, but that's exactly what makes him special. In a very generalized, needing to do even more tape study way, I'm just gonna say it this way. Carson Beck is basically the taller, stronger, more physically gifted version of Stetson Bennett, and that's not a bad thing at all. And like I said, that this was going to require a little bit more study, a little bit more detail. The opinion may even change a little bit, but based on what I've seen so far, he's really, really efficient. I'm going to show you 4 plays from the Tennessee game. I think they kind of highlight that, and I'm actually going to explain why that's pretty hard to deal with when you're playing defense. So we're going to hop into it. So it's the first quarter here, 6 minutes, 1 second left in the game. Georgia's down, Tennessee 7-3. 2nd and 9 here. Georgia's in 11 personnel, 1 tight end, H back on the left side, 1 running back set to the right of Carson Beck. They have 3 wide receivers on the field. So if you notice, Rosamie Jackson, the wide receiver, is close to the line of scrimmage on the left side. He's on the receiver on that side. And basically, this play is going to be an intermediate crossing route from Rosamie Jackson. So when the ball is snapped, Carson Beck takes a snap. He's looking to the right. Like I said, he has 2 receivers over there. He's looking at the play develop over field. They're going downfield. So basically, those 2 guys are going to clear some space in the intermediate part of the field. And Tennessee's rushing 5 guys here. So Carson Beck calmly lets those guys rush up the field. And he has Rosamie Jackson running behind the 2 defenders in zone that are kind of in the middle of the field. So what I noticed is that Carson Beck throws this ball as soon as Jackson is past the initial linebacker's coverage. Like as soon as he's past his hips, Carson Beck's already throwing his ball, and that's something that you really want to see. It's a very efficient thing to do. It's a very on-time anticipation type throw. Like the accuracy or ball placement could have been a little bit better. That's probably more difficult to do since he's trying to get it over the top of this zone. While not trying to give the guys behind the receiver a chance to come up, make a play on the ball, but also trying to throw it high enough to where his receiver can catch it, but also not low enough to where the linebacker can impact the ball. He throws as well as he possibly could in this situation, I think, and he gets a first down here on this 2nd and 9. It's a really well executed play. He just kind of does it like textbook. He did what the offensive coordinator asked him to do, and that's not something that you see every quarterback do that well. So let's hop into the next play. And so it's another play to Rosamie Jackson here, and it's the 2nd quarter now. We jumped ahead a good bit. 3 minutes and 3 seconds left. Brock Bowers is in the game. It's 11 personnel once again, so 1 tight end, Brock Bowers, 1 running back set to the right of Carson Beck, and you have 3 wide receivers on the field. Tennessee has 4 people on the line of scrimmage to start. But as this play unfolds, you notice that Rosamie Jackson is down here at the bottom of the screen. And Tennessee is basically going to be playing man-to-man coverage here. So when the ball is snapped after Bowers finishes his motion here, it's a play action. Just a quick little fake inside to number 30, the running back, and inside. Tennessee's rushing their 4 guys. The offensive line picks it up very well. So as you may notice, Rosamie Jackson, who was the long receiver at the bottom, he has man-to-man coverage. He's one-on-one. And so his job is basically to run a skinny post here, which is, if you know a post route, you basically run about 10 or so yards up the field, and you cut inside at an angle toward the middle of the field. It can be a sharp angle. It can be a little bit of a kind of a more shallow one, but it also can be very skinny. So like the angle is very small. If you're doing some geometry here, it's a very, very skinny angle here, and it just kind of goes up the field on the seam. Rosamie Jackson runs it really, really well. He has the defender on his outside hip, and Carson Beck has to throw the ball in the middle of the field here, and he throws it in a manner to where it's not too far into the middle of the field where the other defender can make a play on it, but it's also not too close to the wide receiver where the cornerback can be able to impact the play. So it's a really well placed ball, as well as a good route here. He knows that he just needs to execute this, and notice when he decides to throw the ball. He throws the ball as Rosamie Jackson is able to get past the first down line of scrimmage, right, and has already started angling. As soon as he starts angling toward the middle of the field, that's when Carson Beck throws this ball, and that leads to an easy first down and more really explosive play. Like I said, he just executes what he's supposed to. This play was designed to get the wide receiver isolated here on the skinny post. Really, and they're kind of attacking the seams and deep routes in general, but like this play design forces the defense to cover these seam routes in this way. And if it's man coverage, then if your receiver gets really good inside leverage on the release and is able to get upfield on them, if your quarterback can accurately place the ball, execution is done well. So now we're going to go to the next play, which is in the second quarter as well. It's just maybe a couple of plays later. It's second and goal, minute and like 37 seconds left. Georgia's got 2 tight ends here, so this is 12 personnel, 1 running back, number 30, and 2 tight ends. The running back kind of does a motion to the left. Both of the tight ends are on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Both wide receivers are also on the right side, so they kind of loaded this right side pretty heavy with their players, so Tennessee knows that these were all the players going to be. So look at the formation. So I like what the offense coordinator did here as well. This play is going to go to Brock Bowers on basically a little run out to the flat. Brock Bowers, I meant to say Carson Beck's going to roll out to that right as well, or move to the right. But both of the wide receivers are going to run routes that are going toward basically to the inside of the field. So it's kind of like a rub route, really. So number 86 kind of runs like a little hitch route toward kind of moving toward the middle of the end zone a little bit, and then he stops. And then the other wide receiver runs a slant behind that, and that's like a pick play basically, where it's supposed to get some open space on there. They really weren't gonna go there. That was just to keep the guys that were guarding them out of the way. Because if you notice, what they did was they had Brock Bowers immediately run toward the flat underneath that jumble of a mess. So really, it was a pick or to make space for this play underneath. The guy who was going to who's on Bowers, if Bowers is blocking, he's rushing. So Carson Beck then has to then evade this guy or get the throw off before he can get there. And that's exactly what he does. So Carson Beck sees him coming. He doesn't get rushed. He doesn't feel any pressure to, not put this ball where it needs to be. He just calmly throws it around the defender, and he hits Bowers like underneath on time. Bowers is able to run. Bowers doesn't have to stop for this ball. He does have to turn back a little bit to catch it. He catches it, and he's able to turn up the field and get a touchdown. Because he does get tackled, like this number 2 is there, but he gets the touchdown. And like I said, this is just plain execution. And this is a really good play from Carson Beck to just do what he needs to do. He didn't try to force anything. He didn't get flustered. He didn't try to throw to the wide receiver on the pick route on top. He executed what the play was supposed to do. Now we're going to go on to the next play, which is in the third quarter, 11 minutes and 8 seconds left. This is the last one I'm going to show in this video. Like I said, nothing too much, just a little something that I noticed. So they are in 11 personnel again. This is more like 4 wide. I think one of the guys is the wide receiver. The tight end is in there. So technically 11 personnel, 1 tight end, 1 running back. But they are all out wide, so it's effectively 4 wide receivers on the field. Tennessee is this 3rd and 7, so they're trying to get some pressure. Tennessee's actually going to rush 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on this play, and Georgia actually only has 5 people in to block, so somebody eventually is going to get free. So Carson Beck knows he has a limited amount of time, but what Georgia calls on this play is basically a slant route to the wide receiver at the bottom of the field, number 86. So obviously this is just traditional play calling right here, right? You got your 3 wide receivers to the top of the screen, all on the left side. So trips up there. You're going to put most of the defense, leverage most of the defense's resources to that side of the field, and you're basically counting on your wide receiver at the bottom of the field, number 86, to beat his defender on this slant route, and your quarterback to throw accurately so that you can get the first down. And that's basically what they do. Number 86 runs a really nice slant route. Carson Beck is looking that way the whole time. As soon as 86 is breaking inside and made some space, Carson Beck's already throwing that ball. 86 gets it, and really big completion for the first down on 3rd and 7. That's honestly just how you play football. Like I said, Carson Beck's going to execute exactly what he's supposed to every time if you give it to him, if you make the space for it. And so what makes this type of guy hard to defend, what makes this type of play or quarterback really difficult for defense to deal with, in my opinion, is that He's not a guy that's not going to get off target or get off time. He's not going to do the Caleb Williams thing where he's running around and maybe trying to make a big play in the field. He's going to execute because the offensive line's going to block. He's going to have a good running game to help him out, and he's going to throw what the offense coordinator is setting up to do. These type of guys, it's hard to get them to mess up unless you just physically dominate their team. So for a team to really beat Georgia, they'll have to dominate them at the line of scrimmage, which just seems like things that you're like, oh yeah, we know that. But in a sense of, that's probably one of the few ways that you'll actually be able to disrupt Carson Beck. Because like I said, like very Stetson Bennett, like very efficient. He's going to do exactly what he's supposed to every time. I don't know what Georgia's offensive system does to their quarterbacks to make them this steady, but this is what they do, right? And he has the physical tools to really execute it as well. So when you put all these things together, that is what makes Carson Beck pretty cool. Like, he's not asked to do a lot of special things, but the fact that he executes what he's supposed to every time is very special. And so it'll be interesting to see who can get him off of that rhythm, if anybody can, moving forward. Let me know if you agree with what I had to say in this video. Let me know if you feel like, no, he actually does have something that's really special that you want to highlight. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.